In the words of Nene Leakes, the ghetto. I'm showing up to a private jet. I can't, but you can give me a private jet.
The way she moved out of her house within less than a week, she should have been able to move those girls less than 24 hours.
Is an axe murderer is coming in trying to counsel people about anger. Something's missing in the brain, because why would I want to be taught by a person that
Yes,
just got a
Lava.
DUI about alcohol?
Lawton, to answer you,
Mm-hmm.
it's called a testimony.
But
Someone
I don't want to
who
be
has
taught by
been in the darkness that's coming to the
Do not
light.
take the
Someone,
Lord's
someone that
girl.
has
in
been through the
vain.
rough of it, that's been through the thick of it, that is
Mitch,
coming
Mitch,
on the other side
Mitch.
of it. Now, bros, before we dive deep into the mess and the madness, we have to address history being made on Bro Chat today. Izzy's back. Izzy
Oh
is
my gosh.
back officially as a co-host on Bro Chat. Izzy is the first co-host in Bro Chat history to take a break.
I decided to leave the show. I blocked Mitch and Brough Chat on Instagram. Mitch, you just said that you never told me not to talk to Victor, which is false. You told me in in the 21-minute conversation we had not to talk to Victor. You shouldn't trust him because if he could dish it on camera, he should also be able to apologize on camera.
Yeah, I told
Because
him.
what Victor does is apologizes behind the scenes, which
Yeah.
I'm okay with because we got an understanding and we fixed it because we're friends. But I'm very shocked right now
Okay.
and
Hold
disturbed
on,
and
hold on.
disgusted that
Listen,
you
let
are.
me be very clear. Let me very clear. Because you're not going to come at me and put it all on me. I don't tell people what to do. I do not. Because you are an adult and I do not think I have the authority to tell you what to do and what choices you make. So I have to correct that. I never told you to not speak to Victor. If you decide to not speak to Victor, that would have been your choice.
I'm not the one that has a show that lost many people.
Izzy, I'm so glad you're back with us.
Mitch and Bros, thanks for having me back. I'm excited to be here. If you don't know me, I'm Izzy from Guam, a U.S. territory, so don't get it twisted. And I'm just happy to be back with the Bros and get to know y'all on a higher level.
Now,
That's so much to
bros,
say.
oh my gosh, Angel, the newest housewife, one of the newest housewives on Potomac, was Angel's apology for the, oh my gosh, inconveniences that the ladies dealt with during that Colorado trip. Was Angel's apology good enough? Or was she being unfairly targeted by Gizelle and the cast? Eric, what do you think?
I don't think they were inconveniences. Running water is not an inconvenience. That is like absolutely insane. Like if I can't, I think that's an issue. If I can't take a piss, that's a problem. Like on God, like that's just be so for real. There are inconveniences like not enough towels and like an hour drive to the nearest store, and then there's I cannot take a at the end of the day or shower. That is a big issue for me. That is so insane because I think it's a housewife trip. I also don't believe it was all her fault. I think it was a lot of production.
Yeah.
Thank
But I
you.
felt the way that she handled it was the issue. How are you not going to text them? How are you not going to offer to let them stay at your house?
Yeah.
You cannot sit there and tell me my house has been in this magazine, I've done this and this, and you can't pull some cots and some comforters on the floor to have your girls stay at least for one night so that they can. Like, I just cannot believe that we're discussing that on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Because Potomac is a very expensive district in the United States to live in. So it's not like it's baffled. That is so baffling to me. I felt Gizelle to a certain extent because I would have been irate if I could not shower. I do not like
Oh
feeling
my
dirty.
gosh.
I don't like feeling dirty, and I
Yeah.
would have been irate if I would have showed up to that plane and she's like, "Look at this beautiful plane," and you're freshly showered and I haven't showered yet,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting in this plane and you're trying to be like, "I am so sorry." You could have sent a text, you could have sent something, or we could have sent a truck for an hour. I mean, just an absolute. And then also, how the hell do you not know where your event is, my guy? How do you not know where your event is for a new business you're trying to plug on Bravo? Let me ask you this. Are you booking that excursion? Because I sure as hell not. In the words
I'm
of Nene Leakes, the ghetto.
Yeah.
I'm
The
living.
ghetto.
I'm just listening. I'm living. I'm just listening to Eric.
I
I'm just living on every word.
Cause that was
I
offensive. A
will
shower and you're in the woods with bugs. Ugh. The smell. Oh my god.
Lawton.
I will say it's very fitting for Giselle to take a hoe bath, knowing that she's been around the block. So I will just say that with the whole
Oh
thing, I think
girl.
water is
I didn't know you
important
had
in
a ticker
every.
kind of her
I
bed.
think water is very important in every faucet, in every well, in every sink. And I just think that, first of all, Angel, no newbie should host a cast trip. They should be able to get into the group, be around the drama, and then maybe next season, if they're even that credible and stuff, they should host a trip. Okay. Because I feel like when you're stepping into a group, you're trying to figure out what the dynamic is, what the clique is. And I feel like putting extra pressure
Yeah.
of a trip, and especially everything that was going on with Angel about, her so-called eviction, and she was only going to pay like $1,000 or $3,000 for this house that was in Potomac, and she's dealing with everything, and then moving back to Colorado. I mean, it's a lot to take in. I mean,
I don't buy that.
girl, my
I don't buy
edges,
that.
my edges would just come off right there, okay? Because it's just kind of like all the all the
Edges.
drama, all the drama going on. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, that I agree with Eric. That's just insane. The way she moved out of her house within less than a week, she should have
Yeah.
been able to move those girls less than 24 hours. Like,
Oh.
like that's unacceptable. I am Team Giselle all the way. I know that when I go to a place, if I don't like their food, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go get food that I want. And if, like Eric said, I ain't gonna be not showering after being with these people for a certain period of time. Showering is necessary, using the restroom is necessary, brushing your teeth is necessary. So I am Team Giselle in this situation. And
So,
Angel's just girl bye. I hope I don't see her next season.
Oh,
well, listen,
See, I
Damien.
differ there.
Well, Damien, before you jump in, I do want to say I have to stand by Angel. And the reason why I stand by Angel is because
Ugh.
Angel gave us the most sincere apology and accountability I have ever seen
Girl,
on the Real
bye.
Housewives.
I agree.
Bye.
And listen, I think that
I
it's
bet you
fair.
believe that Chanel spelled with two N's too, girl. Bye.
Listen,
Sincere. Ah!
I felt the sincerity. I
ooh,
felt the
sincerity.
embarrassment because Angel knew that she was wrong. Angel was wrong. She was in the wrong, and she had something to apologize for. I appreciated the accountability. It wasn't an apology with the reason is this and all these
It
excuses. It
was.
wasn't.
She
No,
did.
well, you got to give
She did
context
say
to
she
what's
had to
going on, and
contact
she
the
also
homeowners again.
gave you got to tell people the update of what's going on. So she gave the context, no excuses. And I appreciated Angel's apology
So why couldn't she text them when she was taking a bath in her luxurious house while they weren't? Why couldn't she text them knowing there was no running water?
because she was working full time to resolve the issue.
I think she probably
Time.
thought
Working
production
full
had it
time.
handled. I think she
She was
thought
working
production had it
full
handled.
time.
That is a joke.
She
That's
was
a joke.
working
I,
full
I
time
will give
to.
her grace in where I do believe production had a part of it. I try
They
to give her
definitely
grace.
did.
But the problem that I have is the non communication. That would have set me off. It's already that
Right.
I'm not showering, but then I'm showing up to a private jet. I can't. You can give me a private jet? Girl,
There's a bathroom
what?
on the jet.
Well, there's a bathroom on the private jet, and these girls have never flown on a jet
It
before.
took them 5 hours to get to the damn jet. Five
These
hours to get to the damn jet. What about
You
an
can go
hour
by a
each
gas
way?
station. You can go
What
by a
about?
gas
I mean,
station.
I just what?
All right,
speaking of the gas
Damien.
station, while Giselle talking about, I don't eat at food trucks, but she was the first one in line at that food truck, scarfing all that down. I listen. I got
That
so much
pizza
to
did
say
look
about
good,
this. I
though.
got
That
so much
pizza
to say
did
about
look
this. I'm gonna try to
good.
make it. I'm gonna try to make it very short.
No, no, don't make it short.
Oh,
Make it
who's
long,
sorry?
honey.
I'm with Mitch. She apologized. Something none of these girls do. These girls are on their high horses, think they better than everybody, and can hardly ever apologize. And don't get me started on Gizzard. You, ma'am, held a party in your front yard with a porta potty. I'd rather in the woods than ever sit in a porta potty. Okay, I would gladly go in those woods at that cabin and pop a squat before I ever sit in a nasty ass porta potty. And Gizelle, shame on you. Tell us this, Gizelle. On your first season, where did you take the cast? What cast trip did you have?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Y'all didn't have one because the budget
Ah,
probably wasn't there. So listen, Miss Me, come off my girl Angel. I want Angel to come back. I want to give
I
her
do
another
too.
shot. I'm with one of you guys that said I don't think the first
I
season
agree.
girls
I think that
That was
she
me.
should come back. I do agree with you.
and I don't think first season girls should be really throwing trips. They got to get their feet
That's
wet.
what I
They got to get
said.
used to this whole. It's not like you're throwing a
No,
trip.
I disagree. I
We're not
disagree.
throwing a regular trip though, y'all. It's not like us five going on a trip. There is so many logistics around it that we're not seeing.
Exactly. But if you're gonna plug your business, my guy, which is what she was doing, she was
Now,
trying to get us to her little business that was starting. That's what was the point of it. But you can't
yes.
get there, girl.
Now,
You
let
can't
me
get
say this.
there.
I
Let me say this. There were a lot of things that I saw from Angel pertaining her business that made me squint. I do agree with. I can get with you on that. I think she made her business look terrible. However, these girls were, particularly Giselle, Ashley, Stacey. They were so mean and nasty. I felt like I was back in high school. I wanted to jump in the screen and like defend her, but then I got to a point to where I'm like, Angel, if you don't get some umph in your body, if you don't get a backbone and dog these girls out, I can't feel sorry for you anymore.
But the
It
thing
it
is, Tia didn't host the trip, which makes me feel like Angel wanted to host the trip to be able to promote her business. So if you're finna do that, it should be planned. Also, why are we going to your business that's 2 hours away from the airport the day we're leaving?
now that was stupid too. I agree with that.
All
yeah,
so
that didn't make
okay, that's now the
sense.
third thing that
We
she's done
shouldn't have even
dumb.
planned an
That's the
event.
third
There
thing
shouldn't
that
have
she's
been any
done
events
dumb.
planned on travel
I
day.
mean, again, I give her a little grace because I do believe like she doesn't do cast scheduling. She's not a part of that. I agree with her, but I feel like you said, she needed to boss the up. Pardon my French, but she needed to boss up and take control of the situation, which she did not. I do not feel like she did that at all.
Yeah,
She
no.
kept separating people. It was, I'm sorry, the even the sleeping arrangements was weird. When you go on a cast trip, I agree with them. They should have all been together. I do not
Yeah.
understand why she was that. And then I don't understand why for an entire season you're boosting up your place to be this magnificent thing that is in magazines. We only got one dinner there and nobody stood there and it only had 2 rooms. You got a $14 million house with 2 rooms. I think you have a problem, girl. I think your
yeah.
architect screwed you. If you got a $14 million house with 2 rooms, that's the issue. I think.
Well, listen, I agree completely with Damien. I feel like me and Damien just give each other a whole lot of love today because
It's rare we
Angel,
agree.
Girl, I can't.
Angel, Angel was a convenient shield throughout the season, and the reason why she was a convenient shield is because the longer Giselle refuses to accept Angel's apology, the longer we don't have to talk about Giselle's personal life. You realize
Hello.
we only
I agree
Yeah.
talked
with that.
about
I agree with that. I agree
we
with that.
realize we only got a little bit of Giselle's
We got
dating life,
nothing.
personal life at the
Her and
well, it
Ashley
was
gave us
mentioned.
nothing.
It was
Her and Ashley.
mentioned.
What did
It
It
we
was
was
get?
mentioned
mentioned
for
by
a
Stacy.
Stacy. It
moment.
was
Stacy
It
mentioned by
tried
was
to bring it up.
Stacy. It was mentioned
Stacy
by
tried to bring it up.
Stacy.
it
Stacy
was
tried to bring it up.
mentioned, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
that's
But
true.
it's not. It was
Not the
mentioned,
same.
but it should have been discussed. The way
Yes.
we're
Agreed.
discussing
Agreed.
Angel, the way we're discussing Stacy, the way we're discussing Dr. Wendy, let's discuss Giselle. And with Angel having
Ashley.
this held over her head the way it was,
Yeah.
you know, I love accountability. I love an apology. I love being able to connect with someone because I think that the way you resolve conflict, the way you resolve conflict is through understanding and through conversation. Because resolving conflict, in my opinion, it brings me closer to people. And I think that Angel is going to get closer with the group the more she's able to, have that
If they give her a
accountability, have that
chance.
understanding. If they give her
Yeah.
a
I feel like they're
chance.
gonna try to
Well,
ice her out. Like
but
she
to be
carried the
Ice her
season in the
fair,
out.
back.
Bye.
I think to be fair, it was the last trip, so we don't know what would have happened after that and how they would have dealt with it. Because I think in the moment I would have just been pissed. I'm gonna be honest. If I can't shower, that is like literally
Can
a
we
no
talk
go for
about that
me.
too, Eric? Because I want to address something. There was this
Mhm.
big debate going online back and forth whether Angel booked this property or not, and I don't know.
Yes, I saw that.
They might do it like that over there on Bravo, but when I worked on Love and Marriage and we did trips and stuff like that, The entry level producers are doing that. They're looking for the location. They might
No,
run it
I
by
agree.
her. They might say, "What do you think about that?" But I don't think Angel knew any of that. I really don't. I think, and it played conveniently for the producers. They had a great
But I
story,
think that she could have been a boss and been like, okay, come to my house.
but there
If
wasn't enough.
you're
There wasn't
going,
enough rooms, right?
oh, girl, but I mean, she didn't
Six
do anything.
bedrooms.
She didn't do anything. That's my problem. I didn't feel like she did anything, but I called some
Right.
guy. That's what I felt
Okay, let
like.
me ask you this: do you think Giselle did something with the Four Seasons?
No, but then, hello, that's my point. But she made herself look like she did. Boss up.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean,
Boss
I
up
can
and
see what
make
you're
yourself
saying, but
look
we
like
all
you
know you
do.
just Jizzy, you
No,
didn't come up with that.
nobody
They
is
threw
buying
Jizzy a
Giselle.
bone.
The thing is, I'm not defending Giselle. I just understand her in that moment. I 100% understand her in that moment because there are just like at the hour drives would have made me upset. An hour back and forth and back and forth. That doesn't make any
Yeah.
logical sense. And again, I'm not going to stay here for an entire season and listen to you talk about this house in Colorado because she did. Every chance she got, she talked about this effing house in Colorado. We can't even go to it. We don't even show up to it. We go to one dinner there when the whole point was to be there. Then you want to take us fly fishing for your business. You get lost. Nobody ends up there. Come on,
But then
girl.
there
Well,
were
Why
listen,
did we
two
I'm
fly
men
to
I'm
there.
defending
Aspen?
I'm
Why did we
defending
go to Aspen? Why did we
I'm
go to Aspen and
defending
not her job?
I'm defending Angel because how can Angel, talk to all the ladies when she's working full time to get everything situated, working full
She
time.
wasn't sitting. Okay, first of
She
all,
should have
no,
done that.
no.
She should have.
What was she doing that she couldn't answer them? Because she could be on the phone. Hi, I need you to get this room, guys, while texting and saying, guys, I'm so sorry that this is happening. I can do that. We can do that right now. We're doing that right now, right? We have a study guide. We're talking. We're also engaging with each other. I can put it, I believe she's a multi talented person who can do a text and a call at the same time.
Well, listen,
No me gusta.
I think we're all on the same page that
But
Angel
I
was
want
wrong.
her
Great
back. But I
though.
want her back.
I,
I
I
do want her back.
think
Yeah.
I think we're all on the same page that Angel was wrong. But
She
I,
was.
I think Angel's saving grace could possibly be getting to know Karen because
Yeah.
Karen is back in the fold. I don't know if the bros, if you guys saw this, but Robin called out Karen for blame shifting during her DUI interview with Andy Cohen. Now, Eric, I want to know, do you think is Karen making excuses or finally taking ownership?
She is making excuses. I thought I was living in delusion land when she sat down with that interview with Andy, and Andy felt like he was in delusion land. How are you? I don't understand how someone could be on such a high horse that they, at 60 something years old, go to prison for literally wrecking a car that exploded. We saw it explode on these things. We saw her absolutely lose her mind on these tapes. She goes into a prison and acts better than to the people that are there, as if she didn't
Right.
deserve it because God sent her there like, she was Jesucristo himself to deliver these horrible people from jail. I was gagged when she showed up with some of the girl's hair in her hair. Fully
I,
gagged. That
I
took
stop.
me
The
out.
You
the
got to do what you got to
interview,
do in
like
jail,
That
baby.
took
completely
me
I was so freaking confused, okay? Because the only thing good out of it was her makeup, her wig, and her
yeah.
puts on nails. Okay, that's what I will say. And the thing is that whenever she was talking about, oh yeah, I was teaching about alcohol and how to control it and everything. If an axe murderer is coming in trying to counsel people about anger, something's missing in the brain because why would I want to be taught by a person that
Yes,
just got a
mama.
DUI about alcohol, how to control it? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And then on top of that, the only thing I lived for is whenever she saw the toilet in her cell and she was like, oh God, I don't know how many butts have been on this toilet. So then she said to the officer or whoever, like, I have a strong flow and I need extra padding and stuff like that. And she took those pads and put it on the toilet. I lived for that because I was just like, okay, look at you
I was
taking care of
waiting for
yourself in
that one.
jail.
Law, and to answer you,
Hmm.
it's called a testimony.
But
Someone
I don't want to
who
be
has
taught by
been in the darkness that's coming to the
Do not
light.
take the
Someone
Lord's
someone that
name
has
girl.
in
been through the
vain.
rough of it, has been through the thick of it. that is
Mitch,
coming on
Mitch,
the other side
Mitch,
of it,
Mitch.
that
But
is
she
a
she was not on the other side
testimony.
of it. But she
If
wasn't on
it,
the other side of it, my guy.
Right.
She was in the middle of it. She was
yes.
deep in
Yeah.
it. She was just starting. She just got caught. And
Here's
her
the
goodbye message to the girls was like ridiculous and delusional when she's like, keep the crown high for me. Like he is just living in this. You crashed your car to it exploded, my guy. You have enough money to order an Uber. If she couldn't order a $30 Uber Black, there is a bigger
hmm
problem at hand. Am I bugging? She is a 60-year-old woman. She's not some little girl. She is a grown woman with grown children. And if you
yeah.
can't afford a Uber Black, you shouldn't be drinking to that extent. And she could have killed a child. She could have killed
Yeah.
a 16-year-old who was delivering pizza. I mean, on his afternoon. Like she could have done that. And the way she blatantly says that and then keeps going, and then she continuously is setting herself up to when she comes back on the show and she continues to drink because we know she is. She's setting herself up to say, I didn't say I was an alcoholic. I said I
Yeah.
was dealing with it. I said it was the pills. We've seen this on Housewife happen over and over
Right.
again. There needs to be like this is not something like you stole money from someone. This is like you
hmm
genuinely could have killed yourself, everybody around you. You could have, I mean, it's the same thing with Shannon. Shannon went to crash herself into a car, in a house.
hmm
Like, that is ridiculous. That is buffoonery.
And I
Yeah,
felt
That is
if
but
you're
not
listen,
really
okay.
trying to
just
take
I
on
believe
what
it.
you did,
I believe I believe it. I believe it. The best messengers are those that have gone on the other side of the mountain.
But she wasn't on the other
She
but
didn't
side.
it
get
should
The
have
girl
overside
been.
was in
the other
Here's
side of
the
the
jail.
thing.
mountain.
Here's the thing, Mitch. If she took accountability at that interview, then probably 5 years later she can be a DMV or alcohol coach or something like that. 5 years later, she
Yeah,
was in the middle of
I
it
can agree
all,
with that.
okay? And she wasn't taking any accountability. And then on top of that, she wants to say like, "Oh yeah, this will. I had only 2 DUIs. I didn't have four. The other two were." I'm like, girl,
Yeah,
I'm
she
still
was playing
confused
a
by even
semantics
that.
game. Like,
Like, what is
Right.
this?
Izzy, what do you think?
Yeah, well, she didn't make it to the other side of the mountain, Mitch. She was still up, was on the other side. Just the FYI. I want, if anybody's gonna try to teach me a lesson, they need to be out of the situation I'm currently in.
Yes,
They
thank
have
you.
to be way
minimum
past
a
it. And
year.
she,
Minimum a
right,
year. Like,
right. She
Yes.
wasn't past that. And just her approach to the interview was just strategic. She was working with her
Yes.
staff
mhm.
to draft statements. She couldn't even admit that she had an addiction or alcoholism. She was blaming the
Mm-hmm.
prescription drugs being mixed with the alcohol she's intaking. That's
Mm-hmm.
her choice. That's her fault. And hopefully she does take accountability and is willing to accept that she was dealing with alcoholism throughout this whole time.
Thank you.
Yeah, Damien.
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, this is a pretty black and white situation, right? Karen got the DUI, went to jail, but and Karen is my favorite Potomac housewife ever, but I didn't see a lot of accountability there. Just like Izzy was
Right.
just saying, and Lawton, you guys were talking about her teetering with the pill thing. Like, you can't put one foot in and one foot out. Just own it. And when it
Yes.
comes to substance
Right.
abuse and alcoholism and things like that, it's so serious. I mean, we watch it for
Yeah.
entertainment on television, but like Eric said, what if someone would have lost their life? We wouldn't be sitting up here having this same discussion. We'd be
Right.
talking
Mhm.
about Karen spending the rest of her life in prison for
Yeah.
manslaughter. And at the end of the day, I was really hoping. I don't. I hate to say this, but I don't think 6 months was enough for her. I think maybe
I
she might have needed
agree.
a little
I
longer.
agree. I
Mhm.
She
agree.
might need a little longer just because
I
Yeah.
that's what
agree.
it's for, is for you to really sit and reflect on what you did. And I'm so disappointed. And now it makes me really believe what a lot of the girls have said
Yeah.
over the years about her. You were doing this and you were here at this time and you were. I'm praying for Karen. I hope things work out, but I do think Bravo is not gonna. I don't think Bravo's gonna be happy about this. I think they're wanting more
No.
accountability from her.
Yes.
I
Andy
mean,
was
they
not
Yeah.
brought her
upset.
back on for the reunion. She's
Mm.
fully going to
Yeah.
be in the reunion, which I don't agree with. I think they should have done the special with her sitting down, and she should not have been in that reunion. I mean, we even saw the previous reunion. She's trying to like talk to Wendy and like give Wendy, girl, Wendy stole
Steph.
money and you literally blew up your car. Those are two different
Right.
scenarios, and you should not be sitting there like. I don't. It's baffling to me that I low key kind of live because I want to be that delusional. If I could choose to be that absolute, like Lisa Barlow delusional, where you're just like, I'm about me and that's it. That's impressive. I will say that it's impressive to be that delusional.
I
But
want to
Well,
say
girl,
to an
sit
officer, I
sit
want
down.
to say,
You just got out of jail. Why do you have a couture gown?
I want to be
do
delusional
anyone?
and say to an officer, yes, Andy clocked that nickname. He made it. Okay. He gave me the Grande Dame. I want to be that delusional. Okay.
Or oh shit, I'm lit. When she's literally at the
I'm
Yeah.
police
Thomas
station.
Jefferson's concubine. That one floored me
Right?
the most. It's like, what? I've never been that drunk in my life. Like, Karen,
Oh,
you're
Lord
60,
Jesus.
baby. Come on.
No.
Well,
And then
that's why I'm
poor Ray.
grateful. That's
Poor
why I'm
Ray.
grateful. That's why I'm grateful that the story didn't end and the story continued with the Sherry interview
Oh,
where
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
Karen
yeah.
sat
yes.
Mhm.
down with Sherry Shepherd and she was very clear about her accountability. She
No, she
said, "It is
wasn't.
wrong to drink and drive, and that is what I did." What more do you want?
I'm
What
an
more do you
Because she
want
alcoholic.
from
saw
her?
the
I'm an
media's
alcoholic. That's what
reaction
I
to
want
that
her
one
to
on one
say.
interview.
Yeah.
I'm an
And
alcoholic.
that's why she's
No,
cleaning
even
it up on
Sherry
the
Shepherd
Sherry
had to
interview.
correct her and say, you're an alcoholic. So let me tell you how AA goes. If you have a sponsor in AA, they have to be able to take accountability for being an alcoholic. You have to, there's a reason why you get up in an AA meeting and go, "Hi, my name is and I'm an alcoholic." There is
Yep.
that's accountability. She has not done that.
what if you're not drinking no
She's
more, Eric?
skirting.
If you're
Well,
not drinking anymore, are you still labeled
you're
as like,
yes, because an alcoholic is a disease that you're working through your entire life. That's what the
okay,
program
I didn't
teaches
know
you.
that.
Is that when you're on narcotics, when you're addicted to something, it's an everyday struggle for you to. That's why they have a pin for 90 days sober, 30 days sober. Like there's a reason for all of those steps. For her to come into the jail and be a sponsor right off the bat is
Yeah.
insane. That
Yeah.
is not helpful to the girls that she's helping. That's very
Thank you.
destructive to them. How can you counsel someone when you haven't taken accountability for yourself? She keeps skirting around it and saying things like, I shouldn't drink and drive, bad me. She's like downplaying it when she used to get
Right.
up and say, I am an alcoholic who uses prescription drugs and I need to take accountability for that. She's setting herself up so that if she gets caught drinking, she can say, I didn't call myself an alcoholic. I'm like, come on, I'm seeing right through it. This is
Well,
all
And
a mince of words. She's playing semantics.
And Mitch, I'm going to go back to your question about how she went on the
Well,
Sherry interview. Yes, she went on the Sherry interview because she saw the media's reaction to that one-on-one interview and saying that she didn't take accountability. So now she's coming on Sherry to clean up her act.
Right.
yeah. Well, listen, when Karen talks about the medication and the drinking, she isn't defending herself. She's providing context while processing her mistake in
There is no
public.
context.
This is a process, and I think that we're going to see more from Karen over time. Give her a chance. She is just now back, and for folks to expect certain wording, certain conversations, let's not be so strict with Karen. Let's give her a chance
No,
to
no, it's not
show
about being
us.
strict with
No,
Karen. That
yes,
is
I
the
think
program.
so.
That is the program. You're going against an established program. There is a program for Alcoholic Anonymous that is nationwide, if not worldwide, and there are certain things you have to do those programs. She is not doing them. That is holding her accountable. Now, we're not going to give her a sly. That's ridiculous. She's a 60-year-old woman. She's not a child who did this not once, not twice, but like 4 times in the past decade. And she
Right.
only
Allegedly.
got
I
caught.
won't get
This
sued.
is not a just one-time thing. This is the same thing what happened with Kim Richards. Kim Richards had to take accountability and say she was an alcoholic, and she did it on camera, and she was held to a standard. Why are we not holding that
Yes.
standard to her? To be fair, we should be doing it to Shannon too. So let me not take my shoe off on Shannon's neck too.
oh yeah.
Because you
Because
crashed into
Shannon's
someone's
drinking
house.
again. She's still
Yeah, she
drinking, right?
crashed into a
Exactly.
house.
Like,
Yes. Because she's doing the
Right, but
same thing that
after.
Karen did. She did the same thing Karen did. I was on prescriptions. I took too much. I drink too much. No, you're an alcoholic who can't control yourself. How does a 60-year-old woman who has 2 children not know that when we're drunk, we don't drive?
Yeah, listen, she did it, Eric. She did it. It was wrong. She's on the other side of it. And
That's
I
insane
don't
that
want
you're
to,
saying that.
I wouldn't define anybody from their mistake. I don't think she's defined by it. I
I don't
think
think
that
we're
she's
defining
made
her. We
better
want
by it.
accountability.
I think she's made better by it. And I think we're going to see better from her. I want to see it. I want to give
So
her a
let me just ask you
chance.
a quick statistics questions, right? So she has done this 4 times within a decade, and she cleaned it up in 6 months. You're telling me in 6 months this woman just changed her life?
I want to see her.
Let's be
I
so
see her. I
for
think
real.
we
Let's be
all,
so for real. She's 60 years old.
Eric, we
Stop.
all deserve a take two.
I
We
didn't say
all
she didn't
deserve a
deserve.
take two
Nobody's
and a
saying that
chance
she
to
didn't
get back
deserve
on.
it.
No, I'm just saying it for me. This is
No.
what I feel.
Well, I
I
didn't
deserve,
say
we
she didn't
all
deserve it,
no, I'm saying that she does deserve a take two. And I
and I'm
want to
not saying
see
she
it.
doesn't.
I want to see it. And I appreciate what I'm seeing in the early stages of her accountability. These are early conversations that we're seeing from Karen. We're going to get more. And I think we're going to see her add more to her conversation that she's sharing about her process, about her experience, about her accountability. We're going to get more. It doesn't stop here. It is not over. She has more to share, and I want to hear it from Karen.
But
I don't know. She didn't. I didn't see accountability. I saw someone framing themselves as a Jesus. That's what I saw. Someone like, I'm a
Right.
savior to the girls in jail.
Yes.
Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Look at me. I didn't. I learned my lesson. I've been in here for 2 minutes. Like, no.
in the
Accountability
words
is
of
I
Karen,
I was
fucked
a
up.
teacher.
in the words of Karen, let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Everyone looking in, make sure that you like this video. Make sure you comment down below. Who do you think won the Bro Chat debate today? The Bros of Bro Chat will be back.
Did you lose
Bye.
it at the end?
Gladiator
Did you
Okay.
style.
lose it? At the end?
If Monique can move forward with Giselle, I want to see her move forward with Candace.
Yes.
I don't want to be with people who have caused harm towards me or have assaulted me. I don't want to be around them.
I don't feel that way. I can get over some stuff. If we might have scuffled a little bit, I can probably move on down
Right.
the road. But everybody ain't like that. In my mind, it's inevitable for them to eventually just wash this
Yeah.
all out and
Yeah.
come back to center.